Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah, these are the fun things you don't think about with trying to restore the vehicles. This is all the space you need. So I normally keep the Green Scout in here, and it's a decent amount of space with just that Scout in here. But it's getting cold. I'm not going to work outside.
And winter is coming.
So I basically need to clear all of this out of here on this right side to be able to fit both Scouts in here. And then even at that, it's going to be tight. So I'll pull one Scout out to work. And then I could probably leave Hank in here all winter and do all the metal work, or most of the metal work at that point. But yeah, I've already cleaned up like half of this stuff, and there's still a lot to go. Oh, success. I guess I should. So. Sweet. It worked. How close am I to hitting the doors? I'll have to be careful. I thought I'd show a couple quick upgrades. One is just these lights, the under dash lights. They're flickering like crazy. Got some extra LEDs I tossed in there. Those are working real well. Rewired the lights in the dash and the amp meter. I didn't get the light in the tachometer yet. The rest of these are all LEDs now. They're staying pretty consistently on. And let's see. Yeah. address the parasitic draw. There was an issue with the amp meter where it was always on. That, and then I think there's also another issue where there's another wiring issue that I found with the amp meter that I think was possibly causing an issue. So between those two, all the parasitic draw is taken care of. So that's really nice to have done. So I'm just gonna keep tinkering here. I think we gotta go do the title here tomorrow or something. So we just took it out, filled it with gas. I was having some surging, and I was pretty low in the tank. I'm guessing that the fuel filter probably needs changed, but I didn't have any surging today. That was fine, and I just put like 17 gallons in it, so it was pretty low. So, all right. Oh, I can't reach. Wait a minute. Is this? I can't remember. This will not come out until I get this split ring pliers and pull all of that. Okay. Switch these. Oh, okay. So there's the nut. There should be a locking. Actually, that's not even on. That's why. Oh my. There's no locking. The tab's not bent over. So do I need bearings, or does this just need tightened up? There's no... Oh man. It's gotta come off regardless. Maybe this won't be that bad. I still gotta do the brake. Okay, so this was bent previously, it just didn't hold. It's just loose as can be. I drove like 4 hours home on this. At least it held on. Alright. This hardware looks okay. It's fine. Let me tighten this back up for now. I'm not doing any major driving on it. Let me try to put that nut back on, tighten it up, put a little bit of preload on there, and see how it feels. Update. Is race. Oh, what happened now? Oh, there it is. I think this race is supposed to move in here, and it actually moves up and down. There's clearance, so I don't know if the hub has gotten wallered out or if the race is damaged, but I think I'm just going to punch that race out and make this a much bigger job. Okay, so there's the 2 indentations in there where I can hit the back of the race. It should drive right out. Okay, there's the race. Oh, that race has been spinning for a while. I think. Let me see. I got more hubs. It's the best thing about doing this as a second project is spare parts. Okay. I probably need to punch that disc off there soon because I think this hub is probably definitely coming off. I don't have a seal, which kind of stinks, although I've got multiple good ones that are sitting here. Probably need a bigger hammer for this. I don't know. Guess that's Survivor versus Barn Find. That came out pretty nice. Okay. Gosh. How deep down the rabbit hole do we want to go? I could punch these both out and try to reuse the seal. Marked on here the mileage, 50,000 miles in these hubs, 50,000 original miles. I don't remember why I bought new ones. I think probably because I was trying to buy my way out of problems because I didn't know what I was doing. You can see, this is interesting. So you can see there's actually It's actually a little, the diameter of the hole where the race sits is actually a little tighter here than the rest of this, the rest of the hub. But the one I just pulled out is the opposite. This is the old one. Nope. Yep, that's my old one. This is the one I just pulled out of there. And that race was spinning inside of here. This was one of my old spindles. Might have to look. I remember it being, it looks significantly better than this one, especially if that race was spinning in here. No, the race was not spinning in here. The race was spinning on the outside, so that doesn't matter. But that is kind of beat up on the inside there. So I think the only thing this requires is those 8 bolts to come out. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to rebuild this with the new bearings. I'm going to try to reuse a seal. I've stripped one of the nuts on here, or the threads, I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's a nut. So what I'm going to do, I just found another. On the 8-bolt knuckle, I over torqued one of the bolts, stripped it, and ended up spending a good bit of time trying to weld another bolt to it, trying to see what I could do to get that bolt off and save the threads, and ultimately I broke the bolt. So that's okay. So I got to pull the passenger side all apart again and just replace those bolts, and then it should be good. I'll put new bearings in there. Yeah, I'll be good with that. Anyway, so took a little while to get started today. I tried to leave it key in the ignition for about a minute. That there's some issue with the Hamilton fuel injection. You know, it's no fault of anybody's, but something I'm trying to fight through, where it just doesn't want to start sometimes. And last time I drove this, I broke down on both ends of my road, which is funny, you know, considering I drove 3.5 hours home without any major issues. But no worries there. Right now, I have no power whatsoever. Let's see. See if we hear the fuel pump. I don't think we will. No power to anything. And I was tracking that down before I left for my anniversary, because this is sat for about a week. And this wire that goes into the bulkhead connector, I think it's this one. It comes down here and it's exposed there, and you can see that bend in it. I think that seems to be the culprit, or possibly back here where it's black taped. Anyway, I'm going to pull that and run a new wire in there, and I think that's going to address the no power issue. I thought this was the issue here, which doesn't look good, but I think, let's see what we find under this. This tape is great. I don't know the history of this black tape, but whenever I see the numbers on it like this, oh, that was completely broke. It reminds me of the stuff that coal miners would bring home from the mine. I doubt that's where this came from, but. Alright, so this connection is alright, but this one was broke. Alright, just gonna rewire that. I need to go get a wire. Bulkhead connector. I just pulled one of these caps off. Hopefully it goes back on. But you can see how corroded that is. I'm gonna clean these up all here. I get my new wire. Not new wire, but I bought some 8 gauge, which I think is correct, and connected in there. And I'll splice that in. Hopefully get all this put back together here in a second. Alright, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this, but from my vantage point, that fuel filter looks pretty dirty. I'm not really going to be able to tell without getting it out for sure, I guess, but got some different issues with the Scout. At one point it was surging, and I've had issues. Right now it didn't want to stay running. It kind of sputtered or missed, and then died. And I've had issues starting it, and I'm not saying this is the issue, but I'm trying to eliminate any variables. And that does look dirty, and it probably needs replaced. So I'm going to try to do this again. I already tried once, and I had the wrong fuel filter. It was too small, and it made a big mess. So let me see if I can't clamp that line off a little better this time, hopefully, and make a little less mess. This is the part I hate. There we go. Okay. All right. So I should be able to just, well, that stopped it off halfway decent. Okay, so the new one's on here. Now I need to get this a little off. Let's see, can I set that up there for now? Oh, please stay. God, there you go. There's that one. I'll tell you what, that held that pretty good. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. It's always something. I came out at lunch, and the tire was completely flat here. That valve stem's leaking like crazy out of nowhere. So, not a big deal. I've got valve stems. I'll just pull it and fix it. It's all good.
One eternity later.
Trying to get something in there to hopefully help slip this off the bead. Never had this hard of a time. There it is. Oh, that was rough. Okay. Oh. All right, that broke off the bead the entire way around. So, awesome. Unfortunately, this valve stem looks pretty good. So, why is that leaking? Is that a bigger diameter? Do they make valve stems in different sizes? See, this one's shorter, but I don't know if it'll pull through. Yeah, just exactly the same. Why is that so loose? Huh. I just noticed this. We've got two wheel weights here, and then I'm assuming the weight got thrown from that. All that's left is the clamp. Interesting. We'll deal with that next time. The problem I'm running into is that, let's see if I can do this with one hand. The valve stem will just seat really easy. I don't need to pull it through. So it kind of concerns me. Usually these are tighter. And I have a little shorter, fatter valve stem here, but I think it's the exact same inner diameter, so I don't think it matters. I'm gonna give this a try. You know what I need to do is I'll grab the old valve stem and see if it was difficult to put in there. It's the old valve stem. These are the new ones I have. I mean, it looks the same. I don't have a micrometer on me, but oh yeah, it just pulls into place too. Okay. I'm gonna go with this shorter, stubbier one and see if that does it. These big tires can be kind of a pain to get back on the bead, but the other side is still on, so hopefully I can just pick it up. I mean, I don't feel the best about that, but it's holding. Okay, update on this tire. I pulled the old valve stem because it seemed to have a leak all of a sudden, pretty bad. Went completely flat overnight. So I put the new valve stem in, and whenever I did, I noticed like it seemed the actual diameter of the hole in the rim seemed bigger than I was used to. The valve stem just pulled right into place by hand. With no effort, and it even when I was filling it and I was pushing against the valve stem, it actually pushed right through, which maybe it's no, there it goes. So I'm going to measure that. I bought another set of valve stems that are a little bit bigger. I had no idea that there's actually multiple sizes, so this is new to me. So I'm going to get a micrometer and actually just double check that and then pull that new valve stem through. But I wanted to do an update and make sure that I kind of corrected that. It's almost 0.6. Yeah, it's basically 0.6. 6/10 of an inch, give or take. Let me see these. This is the one that I took out. I mean, it's 5 3/4. I don't expect these to be perfect measurements. So that one's like basically 7, just over 7/10 of an inch. So these ones, I'm going to try this. Okay, that was pretty simple. I didn't film it. That pulled through relatively tight, but it seems like it's seated nicely. That's more what I would expect. So kind of concerns me. I gotta check I'm probably gonna have to replace the other valve stems just to make sure they're all the right size. I don't know, these have probably been on here for a while and didn't create any problems, but it's a pretty significant difference. So okay, so I'm not sure how much I really explained the thought process behind some of these decisions. I just want to kind of cover it now. And I apologize, my YouTube experience is pretty low. I'm just trying to figure this out. So my videos aren't really, they're kind of choppy. I'm trying to figure out how to make this stuff a little more linear and do a little better job, but that'll come. So as far as the gold wheels, I know I have a little bit of footage of me spraying this wheel. And the reason I went with gold wheels is because this is a 78 International Scout 2 selective edition. And part of the selective edition was a very similar gold color to that, which this is just VHT wheel paint. So that's like $15 a can, and I was able to paint all 5 wheels with that. So that just kind of sets it off, gives it a little different look. And that selective edition would have, like I said, had the gold wheels, and it would have had a gold stripe that went from the front marker light to the rear marker light, and it would have been available in 4 colors. So one of which was black, one was this brown, which was the original color of this Scout, another was blue, and another was green. So we already have a green Scout, and it's not bad. The green ones aren't bad, the blue's not bad. None of them are bad, but I don't know, the black's starting to wear on us. Maybe we keep that, although I've never liked Black Scouts personally, but who knows. I think this is just kind of me playing around to see, to give it its own look. So it's probably about time to wrap this video up. I'm gonna go ahead and check all the valve stems, well, replace all the valve stems, I think, and do a couple other things. I noticed that the brake lines get a little bubbly there, so just those soft lines probably need replaced. But I'm gonna check all that out, check the fluids, and kind of figure out, make sure that all that stuff's in a good place. And then probably coming up, the plan is kind of this winter to get all the metal and to do the bed inside, all of the structure for the bed, replace all of that. The quarter on the other side needs replaced. I'll plan to do that at the same time. I'm gonna take a look at the rockers and the floors. They're pretty solid right now. I'm not too worried about those right now, but eventually before we go to paint it, I'll probably do new rockers and see about the floors. Like I said, that stuff's not too bad. Obviously, I got the fuel injection issue to kind of figure out. Still looking at that. And then, I don't know, maybe tranny swap it later. That's not a priority, but I do have that T19 close ratio, wide ratio, I forget. T19A transmission that I pulled last summer, and I have a rebuild kit for it. I need to do a little bit of work to it, but yeah, hopefully I'll get to that. So if you want to see that stuff, like, subscribe, do that YouTube stuff. Thanks.